and realized, oh yeah, he worked there, and then kind of realized, oh, he did Entr Tech as well. But and clearly he's got a job out of it somehow, right? Like he's done pretty well for himself. So I was like, okay, well.
Rez, thanks so much for coming on the Sales and Sports podcast. Let's kick it off. Let's get into it. Who are you? What do you do? Where do you work? And we'll go from there.
Okay, yeah. So my name is Reza. I work at Security HQ. We're basically a MSSP, managed cybersecurity partner. Essentially, we sell cybersecurity as our bread and butter, essentially. I grew up here in East London, and then I did computer science at university. And then from there, it's like a whole crazy story about
We'll get into it, yeah.
about how I got here. But yeah, essentially working in cybersecurity, yeah.
Got it. And like at university, computer sciences, did you know what career path you wanted to go down? Was it still TBC? Like, what was your journey?
Yeah, no, I wasn't too sure, to be fair. Like, when I started computer science, I really enjoyed my first year. I loved my first year. Second year, COVID kind of came around, and that year got like dramatically harder. And especially because like I wasn't in like physical lectures, like I was at home online. So what happened was I really didn't like my second year at all. I actually considered dropping out at one point. I was like, maybe computer science is not for me. I spoke to like careers advisor at university, and she said maybe like some time away from university could be good for you. So I actually applied for a graduate scheme and got one at IBM. So I went and worked for IBM for a year in data analytics, and basically as like a data intern, which was a lot of fun. Like IBM's a massive organization. There was like 250 interns. Like it was a good culture, a lot of fun, learned lots. First time in like the professional world. Then I kind of came back, did my third year university, which I really enjoyed actually. Like different group of friends. I had a bit more control over what I was doing within university because my electives. Really enjoyed it. But I kind of knew, like even from my second year, I knew I didn't want to do computer science. As in I didn't want to do like a dev role. I knew like that wasn't for me. I didn't want to be coding. Did it for my dissertation.
What was that?
I just don't have the natural talent for it. I don't have the patience for it either, right? Like some people just get it, and I just wasn't one of those people. I could do it to like a serviceable amount, you know, enough to get my dissertation and do well. But like, I was like, this isn't my passion. Like, I don't want to be doing this for the next 15 years, right? Plus, there's other things where like the advent of AI, like coding jobs are kind of going now, right? Like it's a bit scary for some people. You got to be really good at what you do. Like you can't be mediocre at coding. You got to be exceptional. And I knew I wasn't exceptional at coding.
It's crazy. Just to add it, my standpoint, it's crazy the amount of coding jobs that are becoming obsolete because of AI. And a lot of people are now realizing, you know, AI is taking over a lot of jobs. But the great thing about, we'll get into it, about sales, there's always going to be a human element needed. Even if AI advances so much, there'll always be a need for that trust in sales, and trust comes from the human element. But also coding is quite antisocial. Like I guess you're not interacting with other humans, and if you're an introvert, an extrovert, or you just get energy from people, it's quite a tough job just to be constantly in a screen, and it's quite an analytical job as opposed to like a social job or a job where you can, you know, learn from other people. And I think a lot of people get into sales obviously for the financial motivation, but also for the human element. And
I've always been pretty social, so I kind of knew that sort of more isolated role wasn't really for me. And it's funny you say that. I saw something about Salesforce, how they've like laid off like 30% of the coders, but they're hiring more salespeople.
To sell the AI.
AI which is pretty mental, right?
Which is good for people.
Sales jobs are generally protected, which is really good and great.
Good stuff. So you did that. How was IBM as an intern? Like, was it quite nice because you were, I guess, earning a little bit outside of university? You had a bit more freedom, I guess, because a lot of people go to university and they're not, you know, in actual full-time or part-time work. For sure. Gave me a lot of freedom, right? I was making money, which was nice. Nice having lots of peers my own age, right? Especially at such a big organization like that. There's so many other interns your age. So there's a really good culture. There's some things I didn't like. For example, like the rate of work is pretty slow. IBM is a bit of a dinosaur these days. They still do some great stuff, but some initiatives take forever. And there's a lot of office politics, which I didn't enjoy. Where you couldn't submit this piece of work because it would affect this partner or this, and that frustrated me. Were you suiting up? Sort of tie on, shirt on?
Funnily enough, like worked in suits since I was 18. So like I was selling suits straight out of high school. That was like my part-time job essentially, selling suits. So I came in suited up once or twice, but I was pretty overdressed. Compared, like, partners are rocking up in like chinos and whatnot, right?
So you're the suits man. We need to get into that. We will get into that. Was it TM Lewin?
No, it was Charles Tyrwhitt.
Charles Tyrwhitt. Okay, cool.
Timberland don't exist anymore.
They don't.
Don't have any physical stores.
Really?
They went fully. They got brought by like some.
Did they?
Some foreign
Private equity something.
Yeah, private equity stripped out. But I think they might be coming back. They're online. They've been online for like the last couple of years. I think there might be 1 or 2 stores they're trying to reopen in the city.
Is it Charles Tyrwhitt or TM that sponsors the England rugby team?
Charles Tyrwhitt.
Charles Tyrwhitt.
Yeah, England rugby is us. Yeah.
And which one you was at James Street? Was that the one you're on?
No, I was in Canary Wharf.
Canary Wharf. Okay.
So actually, from where I work now, I haven't changed location. It's the same commute and everything. Yeah.
Cool. So we'll get into it. So you finished uni, you realised, coding wasn't for you. How did you come across Entr Tech? Before that, we'll go into any part-time jobs you did. You travelled for a bit in Canada, right?
Yeah. So like after university, I went travelling to Canada. I basically saved all the money from my IBM job because like I always wanted to go snowboarding, skiing, but like especially from my background being from East London, Asian, like my parents don't want to go near cold.
Really?
And like they probably couldn't afford to take us skiing, right? So something I wanted to do. So saved all the money I had myself and kind of found a job out there for a contact I knew. I moved out there, had a great time, a full 6 months of just snowboarding, working, which was an amazing experience, especially because I didn't move out for university because I went to London uni. It like didn't make financial sense for me to move out. Yeah. So it kind of gave me that freedom and that sort of life experience of wanting to move out, maybe a little bit extreme, moving to a different continent.
Almost like a gap year.
Kind of like a gap year essentially. Yeah. So I went and did a full season out there, which was a lot of fun.
Nice.
And then kind of on my return, I was looking for a job and I was like, look, I need money right now. So I went back to my old job and they were like, hey, we'll take you back immediately. We know your experience, right? Nice. So I went back to selling suits and I was like, okay, well, I don't want to be selling suits forever. Like it's fun, but it's a retail job ultimately, right? And there's no progression in this for me. Yeah. So I need to find a professional job where I have like options and career growth. I kind of knew I wanted to, around that time I kind of realized, hey, maybe sales is for me. That might be something I want to do. Like I enjoy selling, right? Yeah. So I was trying to figure out like what could I do. Initially, I was looking into like more cybersecurity or more technical roles, which I was like, okay, fine. I'm not exactly coding, but I can work with tools and stuff. That's not a big deal. Yeah. I was kind of looking to a couple courses, and they're like, just the value wasn't there for me. I was like reading Reddit, and like they're like, it's just videos. Like you're not going to get any value out of this. So I was like, okay, fine. I actually can't remember how exactly I came across Entr Tech. I think it might have been an advert on LinkedIn or something, right? But like piqued my interest. I think I was on the train on the way back from work or something. I was like, okay, that looks interesting. And then I was I think it was like maybe later that week, I was doing research on it. And I was like, okay, cool. Like I understand what the course does. And for me, the big bit was like live lectures and having access to like actual support. Wasn't just like, hey, some videos, have fun, right, by yourself. Yeah. And around that time, I was still selling suits, right? I watched it was a podcast with, I think it was David, right?
Yeah, David Santos.
Yeah. And actually, I kind of recognized him. I was like, well, I don't know where I recognize him from. And then kind of clicked for me. I'd served him maybe like a week or two before. He gave me a slightly different name. I think it was like a suit for his dad that he needed tailoring or something. I was like, okay, cool. Served him or whatever. And then I was like, okay, wow, this is kind of odd. And then I think like later that week he came back and he was wearing, I think it was a One Trace like sweatshirt. Yeah. And I think I had stalked him on LinkedIn a little bit and just kind of had looked. And realized, oh yeah, he worked there, and then kind of realized, oh, he did Entr Tech as well. And clearly he's got a job out of it somehow, right? Like he's done pretty well for himself. So I was like, okay, well, I guess that gives me some like actual proof that it works. Like someone's got a job out of this. Yeah. So I was like, okay, well,
Did you speak to him then, or were you a bit?
No, I didn't get a chance to speak to him again. Okay. I was like with someone else, but like out of the corner of my eye, I kind of saw him. I was like, okay, like that piques my interest. Yeah. Then because I kind of seen some live proof of like success, I was like, okay, let me do a bit more research. Kind of realized the offering was for me, and then decided to basically sign up. And then I think I was trying to get in on like, I want to say the October cohort, and I wasn't getting a response. So I was just spamming you on LinkedIn until you responded.
On LinkedIn, I was like, wow, this guy is keen. And I apologize for obviously not getting back to you. I mean, I spoke to the team. I was like, how come Rez hasn't been spoken to? But yeah, when you came on, I was like, could tell already that you were driven. You were at a stage in your life where, it was important that sort of financial freedom and that sort of clear progression. And I could tell you were passionate about technology, work at IBM, and you'd had some life experiences traveling, which I could relate to. Obviously, I'm Canadian, and I thought you'd be a really good fit for what we made. And tell me the story about where you are now. So we'll go back. How was Entr Tech? So on the program, how did you find the setup, and then talk to me about your journey through applications to where we are today.
Yeah, I found the whole experience really good. I got a lot of support from you from like interviews. Like I remember just having like a prep talk, even if it was just 5 minutes, you saying, hey, you got this, whatever, that helped a lot. I think the content was like nicely laid out. I think there were at times where I was like falling behind. I was like, okay, I gotta.
It's a lot of content.
Yeah, I got lucky, and I think I remember saying, hey, like, because I missed out on the October cohort. Can you like give me access early?
Yeah.
So I think I had done week 1, which had like the pretty heavy like Tenable lectures and stuff.
Yeah.
Before everyone else, so I was kind of ahead.
Yeah.
So when we went and did the Tenable event, I kind of knew what I'd seen all the talks. I was like, yeah, I know what's going on, right?
Yeah.
Which was nice, which gave me a little bit of a leg up, I think. Yeah, I think I was falling behind a little bit towards the end, but I like the fact that you guys made it very flexible, very manageable to like maneuver. Like, hey, look, if you're falling behind this week, just let us know, and it's okay. Like, you can catch up and stuff. Yeah. So overall, I found it really valuable. I think especially having, like, I don't think I realized how valuable like all the guest lecturers were until like I was actually doing interviews. Yeah. And even in my job now, I'm like, oh well, this linked to this guy, or this guy told me about this, right? Yeah. So yeah, I think it was really, really valuable in that aspect.
Yeah, so you understand like the dynamics of like a SaaS organization, how different teams link up.
Yeah, well, it's funny, right? Even before Entr Tech, I think I got approached by like a recruiter regarding like a sales role at Gartner, and I went and did the interview, but I couldn't in that moment fully articulate how the SaaS model worked. Yeah. Or like they asked me a question and I didn't really get what they were asking me. Yeah. But what they wanted to be like, oh yeah, we're subscription service essentially, right? Yeah. Even though they're not selling software, they're selling insights. But they wanted me to allude to that. Yeah. So when I was doing Entr Tech, I was kind of thinking about that interview at some points, and I was like, oh yeah, if I had said this and this, maybe that interview ages ago might have gone a bit differently. Yeah. And I think that interview as well, kind of like when they were talking to me about salaries and kind of what you do as a job, I was like, hey, that sounds interesting. I think that kind of also led me towards pursuing a role in sales.
Yeah, awesome. And then tell me about where you are today, because it's quite a funny story as well. Yeah. You probably tell the listeners, but wild how like things work out like that.
Yeah, exactly. So as I said, back in 2023, I went and did a ski season. So that was like the end of 2023 into 2024. But just before that, I was still selling suits. And I think it might have been like November, like the month just before I left. I was serving a guy, and I like my watches, and the guy had a really nice Rolex on. It was like a gold Rolex as a sub. I was like, that's a nice watch. Yeah. Got chatting to him, and he was like, oh yeah, like I'm in business development or something. And at the time, I don't think I really knew what that meant, but I was like, okay, cool. Yeah. But he was talking to me, and he kind of asked me like, oh, like, you know, you're selling suits, what you're doing in university, what you're studying. And I was like, hey, I'm doing computer science. I'm thinking of maybe getting into cybersecurity or something. At that point, I didn't really know, but I was like, I'll just tell him anything, right?
Yeah, you go with it.
I was like, I think I might want to do cybersecurity. Yeah. That sounds interesting. And he's like, oh, that's really funny you say that. Like, I actually work in cybersecurity. And he was like, hey, take my LinkedIn. So connected on LinkedIn. And then that was it, kind of. I went off to Canada, had a great time, came back. Started doing Entr Tech. Around that time, I was thinking, hey, I kind of know someone in cybersecurity. Wonder what he does. And double checked, and it said BDR manager, and I was like, well, that's my man. Yeah, that's who I should reach out to. Unreal. It was pretty unreal. I was like, he's the exact persona that I want to be going after. Yeah. And that's the guy I know at this company. So I started messaging him in what might have been like early February. I kind of said to him, hey, you probably don't remember me, but like this happened. Spoke to you about your Rolex. I'm looking for a BDR role. I've done this course. And he was like, oh yeah, it's really interesting. Like, send me your CV. And then I just heard nothing, just radio silence. I think I just kept spamming him on the LinkedIn. I was really persistent with it. I was just like, hey, have you had a chance to see my CV? He was like, oh, I haven't. I was like, hey, do you want me to email it to you? He's like, yeah, that'd be really great. Like, email it to me. Yeah. I just kept going after him. Eventually, I was like, yeah, okay, let's have an interview. And we did a first interview with him, which went really well. I remember him trying to talk me out of the role. He was like, it's pretty crap role sometimes. Like, it's pretty disappointing and pretty grueling. And I was like, hey, look, I understand that, but this is something I'm passionate about, and this is something I really want to do. Yeah. And I can prove it because, you know, I've invested in myself. I've upskilled myself through Entr Tech. And, you know, this is what I want to do, right? Yep. This is not just something I've just willy-nilly turned up and said, hey, I want a job in this. No, like, I've actually invested in this. And he said, okay, cool. Like, let's do a second interview. So then I did a second interview with who's my accounts-based marketer. And I think for him, I started talking about like internal personas, and that really impressed him. The fact he was like, no one's spoken to me about this. Yeah. We talked about like change makers and not decision agents. What did he call it? He had a really change agents, which was like a weird one that like it corresponded to a different one that I had a different name for.
Like a champion.
Yeah, like a champion, change agents. But yeah, he was like, I think he was definitely impressed with that. Then I had another interview with like our CMO. So in our organization, BDR is slightly different. We're not part of sales, we're actually part of marketing. So we're actually under the CMO, and spoke to him, had a good interview with him. Then I was meant to have one, and then I had a work task.
Yeah,
I remember like hey,
tough.
is this good? And you were like, if this is what you got, you send it, be quick.
Yeah.
And sent that out, and they liked it. They're like, hey, this is pretty good. And then I was meant to have one last interview with our head of sales, but she was actually traveling in Greece.
Right.
Which I was like, oh no, like this is not good.
Spanner in the works.
I was like, I need this interview as quickly as possible. I don't want to lose this opportunity.
Yeah.
There was one advantage to this whole thing was that the reason I'd reached out to him is that he had posted his LinkedIn like, hey, I'm looking for a BDR.
Yeah.
But he hadn't formally posted it anywhere.
Interesting.
So it was just a LinkedIn post,
like
right?
a private role, basically.
Yeah, it's basically a private role. So I was like, I actually don't know how many other people are in the running for this.
Yeah.
So I got to be quick. I don't want someone else to bite this up, right?
Yeah, sure.
So I'm losing my train of thought.
Yeah, so she went to Greece.
Yeah, she went to Greece.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh. And then a couple of days later, they said, hey, don't worry about the last interview. We actually really liked you. We're going to give you the role. And I was pretty over the moon.
Unreal.
Yeah.
Unreal. And just so the listeners, like, in terms of like range-wise, salary, was it like double what you were earning before in Suits? Like, is there a range that you can give?
Probably, yeah. Like, I was only part-time, so I couldn't really judge it against a full-time salary. But definitely more than I would have been making. Like, I think the salary I'm making right now would be comparable to like an assistant manager role at my old job.
Got it.
Which would have taken like a couple of years to achieve.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I never took supervisor roles because I didn't want the extra responsibility. It was just my university job. I was like, hey, look, I just want part-time. I don't want to do full-time.
Yeah.
So I never took any big promotions there, even though I was offered them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd probably make a lot more. And let's say I work hard for the next couple of years, become a seller or an AE, or progress in my career, I'd definitely be making more than I ever would be there. So career progression is amazing.
Nice. Is that, I guess, why did you go down that path? Was it like, what do you enjoy about being in tech sales? For people listening, I
think it's a social aspect, right? I like, cold calling is hard, really, really hard, especially in my industry, because IT leaders who get like 1 million BDR calls. Yeah. But I still really enjoy it. I like the outreach. I like prospecting. I like doing the research. I really like my BDR team. Really like my manager. My manager Matt is amazing. He's really, really great. So yeah, I just like the company culture.
Yeah. It's good
and
vibes.
Working in cybersecurity is nice because it's kind of future proof.
Yeah.
It's always going to be needed, right? No matter what.
100%. I think I say to everyone, like every company that's online needs cybersecurity, right? If you're an online business, you've got to be protected by
especially with like recent world events where like Heathrow just got hit. Yeah,
this week. Is it Jaguar Land Rover as well?
Jaguar Land Rover, Alexander McQueen, Gucci, Balenciaga got hit like last week or the week before.
It's crazy.
This is Qantas, I think it's the Australian airline.
Yeah,
they got hit. It's crazy. Everyone's getting hit left and right now. It's not a question of if you'll get hit, it's when now. Yeah, 100%. So it's really needed,
100%. And your team, I remember you saying your manager was based in Dubai, also like a team in Dubai. Like, what's the spread of how many team members do you have?
So in the UK, it's me and one other BDR. My other BDR is a bit more experienced than me. So it's just the two of us here in the UK. And then we've got 2 BDRs in the US and then 2 BDRs in Dubai. But I believe one of them just become a seller. So I think they're trying to fill his role soon. Nice. But yeah, 6 BDRs in our team.
Nice. Good stuff. And I guess for advice you'd give to people looking to break in, would you have anything off the top that would help them a lot to get to where they want to be?
I think, well, for me, I kind of utilize my like contacts I already had, especially from my old job, as much as possible. I think try and go after any opportunity you can. And it's something I didn't necessarily do, but I'd highly recommend it, is get yourself a Lucia or a ZoomInfo license just for a month and just call up every sales manager. Yeah, it's really scary to do. It's way easier me preaching it and saying, hey, you should totally do this. Yeah. Even though I didn't necessarily do it myself. But I think like I have a friend who's trying to get into sales right now. Yeah. And that's what I said to him. I was like, look, if you find someone or a company that you want to reach out to, tell me and I'll give you the number for him. Yeah. And reach out to them, because that's the best way.
That's the best way. There's so much noise that people...
I remember I was like shooting out LinkedIn messages like, hey, just wanted to say hello, differentiate myself. People were not looking at those messages.
Yeah. They're so busy.
So busy. Like it's a war on attention. Yeah. So, and a phone call is pretty hard to ignore. So I would recommend, if you can, just try to call them.
Nice. Good stuff. And I guess where do you see yourself going in the next couple of years? You mentioned being a seller. Like how long do you think you'll stay as an SDR for? And what's the path like?
I think I'll probably stay as a BDR for like the next year at least, maybe a little bit longer. The person I actually work under now, one of the A's for Europe, she was a BDR and just got promoted. I actually took her old job essentially. For me, I actually kind of want to go a bit more technical. I'm kind of thinking of pursuing like the pre-sales role.
Yeah, like solutions engineer.
Yeah, solutions engineer.
Nice.
So I can still kind of do a little bit of like more technical work.
Yeah.
But still be in part of the sales cycle.
I can see you in that role actually. Yeah, because you've got a little bit of technical.
There was another company that I interviewed for. They were a crypto company. The name escapes me.
Yes, the one we spoke about.
Yeah.
I know the ones. Yeah.
But I was on holiday in Canada. I did like the interview at like 1 a.m. or something ridiculous.
I remember that.
I turned off my shirt. I don't think you noticed.
Good effort. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think they were like, oh yeah, we'd really like you, but for pre-sales in July, and I was like, that's get back to me then, but maybe a little too far out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really enjoy talking to like the CSCs, the cybersecurity consultants, and the more technical guys, and learning a little bit more about our services.
Yeah.
So I think maybe solutions architect or pre-sales might be nice in the future for me.
Nice. And how many folk do you have in the office? Like, how many days are you in the office? What's the like work-life balance like at the moment?
We usually come in 2 to 3 days a week. Like Mondays and Thursdays are like our mandatory days, and then people usually do either Tuesday or Wednesday.
Nice.
Our office, we're growing quite a lot. We've had quite a few new hires. I want to say we're about 60 people
in London.
Nice. We've got like another 30 in like the US, another like 50 in Dubai, 500 in India.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh wow. And is it PE backed or venture capital backed?
No, all homegrown, all privately owned.
Insane.
Yeah.
Very cool. Okay, and then I guess two or three non-negotiables if you're interviewing someone who's listening to this podcast might want a little bit of advice for interviews. What would you say non-negotiables would be for you?
I had a friend who recently had an interview of a recruiter, and they were like, he didn't know what to say about when they ask about what your financial goals.
Yeah.
Be hungry, be really clear that, hey, look, I want to support my family. I want to buy a house, I want to buy a car, whatever it is, right? I want a gold Rolex.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever your goal is.
Yeah.
Yeah, be clear, hey, this is what I want to achieve.
Yeah.
I want to work hard to, hit target and achieve those goals. I'd say that's the biggest thing. But also be curious, right? I think I remember you mentioning a prospect who did smashed an interview, and at the end they asked hey, do you have any questions? He said no. Yeah. Be curious. Have questions to ask. Ask weird questions. I remember someone in our cohort said a question that was really odd, but I used it in an interview and actually worked really well. It was something along the lines of what question do you wish a prospect would ask you that you haven't been asked before or not in this interview process?
Yeah.
And loads of people I really like that question. I wish they had asked me about this.
Yeah.
And it kind of, and by proxy, you're kind of asking me it. So they really, really like that. And just be confident, believe in yourself, right? You got to remember, you're probably interviewing, again, especially entry-level BDR roles. You're probably interviewing against people with a similar level of experience, right?
Yeah.
There's so many roles out there that are 6 months BDR experience. Maybe you got shot, but most likely you're not going to go for those ones.
Yeah.
You're probably going to go for one that's fully entry, which means it's pretty level playing field, especially if you've done something like Entr Tech and you've upskilled yourself. You've kind of equipped yourself with the tools to succeed. Yeah. I think you've got a really good shot. So you got to just push yourself and just be confident.
Nice, awesome, mate. Thanks so much for coming on. Anything else you wanted to share, and anything you wanted to ask me?
I'm going against my own advice. I haven't prepared any questions.
I'm joking. I'm winding you up.
But how's the business? How's things going?
Good. Yeah, really good. We'll chat offline. But things are going well. I guess trying to do many more of these podcasts to share stories and get ourselves out there, because people are like, Jack, love Entr Tech, what you're doing, but never heard of it. If I knew about it 12 months before, would have been even good. So that's why if you guys are listening, don't forget to subscribe, share with a friend. Connect with Reza on LinkedIn. Is that the best place for people to find you?
Yeah, probably so.
Yeah. Thanks so much for coming on. Excited to chat after this, and really happy it's going so well.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Cheers, buddy.